Stampers, Jackie Bolhuis stamping with you today from Zeeland, Michigan. My website is klompenstampers.com if you haven't already found it. But all of my cards that I share here on YouTube, I end up putting all the details over on my website for you, so you can get the card recipe, the complete list of supplies, all the measurements, so that if you want to make any of them, you'll know exactly how to do it. So make sure you hop over there and subscribe. But this is the card we're making today, and it is using this absolutely stunning winter wood stamp set. You know what? It may have Christmas greetings in it, but forget about the greetings, because you can use this with any other greeting sets you have. But these trees are incredible. And I've got a fun technique I want to share with you today to give you kind of a watercolor look. So let's go ahead, flip the camera down, and let me share my card with you. I had so much fun making this card, and I guess I was a little obsessive. I had to go ahead and play with all different colors. But like I said, we're using the winter wood stamp set. I love this image, absolutely love it. And I love that one and that one. But great stamp set. If you haven't picked it up already, make sure you do so while the holiday catalog is still active through the end of this month, because you're going to want this. Great for all seasons, and especially for those masculine cards. But isn't that beautiful? I'm going to show you how I did this technique and then give you a few other tips for making the card. Now, since we're using water, it's critical that we use either watercolor paper or shimmer white. Shimmer white's really my favorite. I don't know if you can see, it's got a little sparkle to it, but it's coated so that the water doesn't or the paper doesn't fray up when you put water on it. So that's my choice when I use water. And I've got my tree stamper ready, mounted here on a clear block. And what we're gonna do is we'll use Cajun Craze for this one. And I'm going to take my ink pad and I'm going to ink it up upside down here, and I'm going to just get the tops of those trees. And if we go down on those trunks a little bit, it really doesn't matter that much. But ink that up good with this Cajun Craze. Then I'm going to take the thick end, the brush tip of my early espresso marker. You could really use any marker for this. And I'm going to start at the top here, and I want it kind of thin coming down and then fill in that trunk. So kind of thin and get that trunk going. And do that to get this brown on all those trunks. Now, here's the fun part. I just have a little spritzing bottle with water in it. And move this so we can try to not get everything all wet here. And I'm going to spritz this about 3 good times. And I'm, a fair, maybe 12 inches away. Oop, that might be a little bit too much on that. The thing with this technique, every single one you do turns out completely different. So practice a little bit. Yep, I knew I got way too much in the middle there. But you know what? I think it's going to be really pretty anyway. Like I said, they'll all turn out completely different. We just need to let that dry, and then we'll be able to finish off our card. This one was Poppy Parade. Then we had to try some crushed curry on this one. And with this one, I inked up the whole thing with just the early espresso ink. So, and it was funny because you could almost see a few green tones in there. I don't know where, maybe my stamp was a little dirty or that brown came out with a little green. I don't know. But we'll set that aside. We'll set this aside. And now a couple other tips for making our card. These words are never enough, come from the Rooted in Nature set. Now, I know many of you have picked this up because a bunch of you did this with my Stamps in the Mail and got the tutorials and card kit with it. Perfect for masculine cards once again, and it pairs so well with this. If you had both of these stamp sets, you're set for masculine cards forever. But I love the words to combine with the trees on this one. So I've already stamped on just a scrap here, and because these words are so thin, I found just using my scissors really was the easiest way to cut these out. Usually I'm kind of a stickler. I like to use my paper cutter to make sure that everything is perfectly straight. But I found when something is so thin, number one, it's hard to do with a paper cutter, and number two, you can't even notice if it's a perfect cut or not. Now, when I went to put this one together, and we'll use the Poppy Parade here because our other one's still drying, this was so thin, I would have had to cut dimensionals super, super small because I wanted it to pop up just a little bit. And I decided, well, heck, let's use glue dots. These worked perfect. I don't know if you can see the glue dot on here or not, but I actually took my fingernail and I kind of folded it in half, rolled it over a little bit, and then stuck this on there. And did the same thing. I just did 2 of them. One kind of, and it'll stick to your fingernail like that. Yeah, we'll get another one here. And then we'll flip this over, we'll pick it up. But I found that that glue dot gives it just a little bit of dimension. So it's not, you know, so super flat down on our card. Look at that. And then a bow, I use the baker's twine. And what I like to do with baker's twine is double it up. Okay. And if it's kind of curly, just run your finger on it a few times. That'll straighten it out for you. Go ahead and just tie a bow. You know, baker's twine or linen thread, both of those I use all the time. I think I call this baker's twine. This is the linen thread. Play around with your bow. I like to pull one a little bit so they're different. Get the bow the size you want. Trim off those ends. And then this glues on best with a glue dot as well. Just go ahead and stick it on there. These glue dots are almost as critical as having dimensionals in my book. And we'll go ahead and just put that at the base of that tree. I think these are a little long. Let's trim those off. And then this piece will be ready to layer onto some other pieces. This piece is 4.5 by 3.25. And then I layered it with an early espresso that was just an 1/8 inch bigger, and then onto soft suede. Added the words again from Rooted in Nature and a couple of the leaves, and there's my nice masculine card. Now once again, down in the description of the video will be a link to the blog post that has the recipe, all the details, and all the supplies I use. But I hope you like this quick and easy technique. It's fun. Like I said, play around. You never know what kind of look you're going to get with it. As long as I got you here, I'll show you one other card I made using the combination of these two stamp sets. Super simple. I just stamped that row of trees twice across there in crumb cake, so it was pretty light. Put early espresso, my thinking of you, on top of it. And then the same thing on the inside. Very simple, but a great masculine card once again. I love these trees. I love this stamp set. So as always, if you have questions about this stamp set or anything else, make sure to let me know. It's a great set. Add it to your order next time. Speaking of ordering, if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Catalog, let me know. I'd be happy to send you one. I'd be happy to answer all your questions and help you with any needs. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciated it. If you have questions, let me know. Like I said earlier, I'm here to teach you how to make quick and easy cards. No question is stupid. All questions are how you learn. So ask away. Until I get to stamp again with you next time, have a stamp happy day.